Hey everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Positive Patty Jeremy here with all your positive video game news, as well as what is going on in the world of The Witcher on the Netflix special. I myself, if you've been following me on stream, finally started playing Witcher 3 this past weekend. I'm totally engrossed in the story for a lot of reasons. I'm sure you probably already know this. The story seems to, the gameplay takes definitely a backseat to the story for me, which means it's kind of like my perfect video game. The game that I like to play is heavily story driven. Before I get into today's topic, which is that The Witcher might actually be okay, although wait, let's hear from an amazing sponsor. Thank you so much from the team at Tops. Oh baby, look what I was sent from the team over at Tops. And guess what? I'm going to be giving one away to you. Details in just a minute. Huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Marvel Collect by Tops. It's a digital trading card app where you can start collecting and trading your favorite characters from across the Marvel Universe, both classic and cinematic, with fans around the world. The app is free to play, and new cards are released every single day. Download today in the App Store or Google Play Store. What's cool about the app is just how expansive the content is. From the Avengers to Guardians of the Galaxy to X-Men, Jessica Jones, the list goes on. Card artwork seems to go all the way back to some of the originals. Being able to trade cards from multiple properties is a fun way to celebrate the Marvel fandom with people around the world. What's also nice about the app is that you can track your progress to complete sets. So I'm trying to complete my Avengers die cut set. So grab the app, it's absolutely free to check out, take a look around, and follow the link in the description as well as the link I've sent out on my social media, on Twitter, to enter for your chance to win your own free Infinity Gauntlet and be entered into a grand prize giveaway with even better stuff. All right, definitely check out the app if you're into that sort of thing. Appreciate that. The app's free and goes to directly support the channel. Appreciate that. So, new images. New images are out on the Netflix Witcher series, and it's not all horrible. Now, I know we're gonna laugh together. Okay, we're gonna laugh together at the SJW-ness of some of this take, but I'm gonna try to remain relatively positive while also pointing out some of my big concerns. Okay, so new images rolled out today, and people are in general relatively happy with them. There are some key errors, I believe, to how Geralt looks, but Henry Cavill pulls it off. I think he looks pretty good. Now, this is a big problem here. Only one sword, while Witchers are traditionally, it's kind of a big part of them to have two swords. So they really should just fix that. It's one of those things where I hate that there's this battle of ego between the writers of the show and then the Witcher fandom. Clearly, people were skeptical about Henry Cavill because he's such a well-known actor. But now that I see him in makeup, I think he looks good. I mean, he can play the part. And he's got the acting chops to do it. So I think he turned out pretty good. Now we've got Yennefer, which is a more... some people have some issues, and I think that they are fair in that Netflix did make some casting decisions there, I believe. Some very specific ones that we're going to talk about here in a minute. That is the classic get woke Netflix. This is the problem. Like, listen, Linda. I know Netflix doesn't care. That's why I stopped paying for their service. But I don't know why, but it seems so simple to me. You can make your own show, but you can also take advice from the fandom. Simply, putting two swords on Geralt would be such an easy thing to do. I believe we saw a lot of pushback originally in the casting of Yennefer because they had she's Indian and not white. And then also they had originally tried to swap Siri as well, which made no sense whatsoever. And we're going to get into some of the hilarious spin in this article, but I'm still saying this is the best news I could find today. Henry Cavill, I think, can pull it off. I think he looks good. That's my opinion. The other characters are questionable, which we're going to talk about here. The casting of Netflix Witcher series has been met with skepticism at almost every turn. Well, yes, of course. Picking such a recognizable A-list Henry Cavill seemed like an odd choice. I agree. Though most people seem to have come to terms with it by now, and Henry Cavill is reportedly a huge fan of the series. Well, of course they always say that. If he really is, I'm happy for him, but I don't exactly believe PR like that. There was a dust-up when Siri, which was at one point going to be played by a POC instead of being, quote, traditionally white, like the books, which a bunch of very dumb people were mad about. Siri did end up being white after all in the end. Well, we know where this author's coming from. We've seen some low-quality reporting from this author before. I don't think, I think it's very easy to dismiss people wanting authenticity to say very bad things about them. Look, these characters looked one way in the game. And they don't have to look that way in the real world, which clearly Netflix is trying to do, but it's dumb. I mean, why wouldn't you just keep it true to the original? Yes, it's the book. Okay, yes, the book. But let me be very clear. You aren't making this Netflix series without the gigantic success of the video game, okay? Let's be very real here, Netflix. You can have your woke writers talking about, well, it's the book and it's not totally clear. No. The people who are going to pay for Netflix to watch this show, the people that have Netflix now that will watch this show, are Witcher video game fans. Their numbers greatly outweigh the numbers of fans of the book. Now, there are many fans of the book series, okay? But I guarantee many of them started as fans of the video game, all right? Unfortunately for you, people have this picture in their mind. I don't understand the inclination of these Hollywood types to directly try to antagonize fandoms. As we talked about in the 1 p.m. video today, the Star Wars theme park, Galaxy's Edge in California, has been a complete flop. Is it the exceedingly high prices, $100 beer flights, $200 lightsabers? I think that's part of it, but also years of having writers like this blame fandoms for just having an opinion. That's probably a big part of it too. And with The Witcher, I'm already kind of totally invested in the characters. I don't think it makes you a bad person to criticize the fact that, okay, you've made a hire here, which I think is clearly trying to make a statement. Did you hire the best person for the job? I hope. I think most people will get over it. But at the same point, there's still a vocal contingent of people that don't like how Yennefer was recast, which appears to be just a publicity move to me. Now, I'm hearing that some people complain that Charlotta's look as Yennefer. Now, no doubt comparing her to the more pale video game version of the character. But as a reminder for the millionth time, this is adapting exactly. See, I told you he was. See, a lot of people don't know this. I don't read the articles typically before I do the video because I want my reaction to be authentic and in real time. But I told you he was going to say this. There's a reminder for the millionth time. This is adapting the books and not the games, so there are going to be differences, particularly visual ones. I don't know anything about Charlotta other than she's English, but I see no problem casting her from this image. I think she looks great. So let me translate that. I've never read the books. I'm still going to write about fake outrage, or I'm going to shide actual fans. Here's the thing. There are absolutely indicators in the book that this character is pale and has kind of the facial features of a Slavic person. I think that we need to get past this, hey, if you don't like this, then you're an ist type person. That's absurd. This is just people who understand the book. So there is lore to the book that proves this, but more importantly, you're pandering to the video game people, in my opinion. Obviously, she appeared in that way, in one way, in the video game as well. So anyway, I think she looks great. Good for you. You clearly aren't a fan of Witcher. I mean, you might be a fan of the TV show, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. This dude is, oh my God. Sorry for the rant. God, this is supposed to be a positive. I'm happy. Henry Cavill looks good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I promise you, I'm happy. But these authors always grind my gears because this dude, this is exactly what I'm talking about with the Star Wars land flop, Galaxy's Edge. You got writers out there writing think pieces that shy the actual fandom, and people get sick of it. And this guy admits in here that he's got really no evidence for this. He's clearly never read the book. Otherwise, you know dang well it would have been in the first sentence of the article, because that's what all these hacks do. Anyway, oh wait, one more controversy. Why does Geralt have only one sword? Well, that's a big part of being a Witcher. See, this is this dismissive attitude, Paul Tassi, and I know you write a lot of garbage articles, but that's exactly right. Look at, we can look at some of the pictures, which I think do look good, but again, we're starting with these articles that blame the fans for having an opinion. You know, I think they obviously all look good. It's not like she's not a beautiful woman. Obviously, she's very beautiful. But I mean, well, I guess teach their own, but I think she's very good looking. But I think the idea that, oh, well, people don't like her just because she's not white is absurd. People don't like it because we know why. You shifted it. Hello. But, you know, you could talk about articles from the video game community, and they're pointing out, take a look at the first Witcher Netflix series images, and yes, Geralt only has one sword. The first wave of Witcher Netflix series images have been released sporting just one sword. More on in just a moment. Henry Cavill's Geralt of Rivia takes center stage for both poster and a couple of character photos. Perhaps more excitingly, we now have our first look at Siri and Yennefer, two key players in the Witcher series. Why is that more exciting? I suppose. Right on, let's take a gander of Henry Cavill glowing in the distance. Yes, I think he looks good. Elsewhere, we have to look at Anya Chalotra's Yennefer. Honestly, this is my favorite part of the reveal. Surprising! Imagine my shock! She owns every aspect of the character, well, except for the look of her, right down to the way she looks that she could end you at any moment. Check out the grip on that dagger. Finally, there's a shot of Ciri, who's played by Freya Allen, skulking around in the forest. It seems like a world away from both moody coastlines that puncture Geralt and Yennefer's character's image. Could Ciri be on the other side of the world? So yeah, before you go, the sword thing. Anyone who knows, I'm going to mispronounce his name, but anyone will know that Geralt is typically found carrying around two swords. One made of steel for slaying monsters and the other made of iron. It's particularly useful for cutting through humans. However, that's actually something that's predominantly done in the games. It seems like the Witcher Netflix series will be drawing more from the book, and at least they're going to use the book as a shield forever. And we're just going to have to wait and see. But hey, this is Positive Patty reporting in with perhaps some good news that maybe the Witcher Netflix series won't suck, although it probably will. That's as positive as I can get for today, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.